Hello, and welcome everybody to another AIMBOT. Am I morally bankrupt or them? There's a few things I want to talk about before we get started with the consensual judging. If you are new to the episodes, what we're doing here is going through Reddit's "Am I the asshole?" and deciding who is right, who is wrong, how we can apply morality to the situation. I guess it's more using our moral intuitions, right? And I want to talk a little bit about moral intuitions because I've been talking to a great guy, an all-round wonderful person, excellent debater, Ozian. If you're not familiar with him, he's done debates on Modern Day Debate. I've known him for a while. He's a very intelligent, very reasonable guy. He's been talking about moral intuitions, your moral feelings about stuff, how much that gut reaction to say, hey, this is right and this is wrong. And we do have a point of contention. We sort of go, I think that moral intuitions, so that gut feeling, that idea of having a sort of gut reaction is is it's a good thing. It sort of allows us to make moral judgments very quickly and easily, and sort of this is right, this is wrong. But the question becomes: is it actually reliable? Is it a way that we can implement morality? And I feel that he relies on moral intuitions a bit too much. And I'd love to know your feelings on it. Do you generally think your gut reaction to moral situations, your gut reaction, is this right or is this wrong, is reliable, or is it not reliable? Is it something that you sort of say, hey, later on I realize, hey, that might not be the best? So I want to talk about that as well. So before we get started, and hello so much, Natalie. I'm so glad you're here. And Atheist Junior, good. It's good to see you. I was looking for you to be online, AJ, because I know I haven't talked to you in a while. I love to see you. So hello so much. It'd be nice if just for once you get my name right, but that's okay. And when addressing me, you can call me the Honourable Judge Mark Reid. But there's a few things I want to go through first, and I do want to put up a charity that somebody had given to me. Richard Madsen is really sort of pushing, or rather pushing. He's making people aware of this charity for a friend of his, and I believe it's a sort of friend of the atheist community, for Adeline. So I'm going to just drop this in there. If you can support Adeline, that's fine. If you can't, completely understandable. Excuse me, things can be tough. Totally understand. But if you can, that's great. So I'm just going to pin that for the rest of the stream. If you can help, thank you so much. If you have helped already, thank you so much. And sort of that is a very morally good thing to do. So while we're talking morals, if you want to help a child with leukemia, I think we can all agree that that's would fall into the moral category. Speaking of morals as well, I do want to go through, and I've been talking to a friend of mine who's sort of they've been talking about LGBTQ rights and what that's looking like in 2023 in the US particularly. And after talking to them, I feel very lucky, very, very privileged to live in a country where their rights aren't under attack and they're not being targeted. And I did have a couple of things that I did want to go through, and sort of just make people aware of sort of what's happening. If you're aware already, that's fantastic. That's great. I would like to talk. It's something we should talk about. We have to talk if we're going to talk about morality, and if we're going to talk about what's right and wrong and who's doing the right and wrong thing. We've got to talk about the rights of individuals. I'm sorry, but there's no way around it. We've got to talk about, do we take away people's rights for the good of society, or do we not? And I would like to sort of discuss a couple of things. One is from the uh, I'm trying to remember what the acronym means. ACLU, which is the American Civil Liberties Union, I believe. And another one is sort of a news article about a law in North Dakota. So I do want to share those. Okay, let's share my screen. I'm going to make myself an inset, and hopefully I won't block anything. Yeah, so 2023, 120 bills have been introduced um, restricting uh, the rights of all LGBTQI, but most focused on trans. For some reason, the year 2023 has been the year of let's get the trans in through legislation, and I don't know why. It's it's very worrying, incredibly worrying. And I'm just going to zoom in a bit if I can, so we can have a look at this. Um, so it's deny sort of transgender people their status and dignity. And Nanalu asks a good question: Who decides the good of society? Yeah, that's a good question. What is the good of society? What makes a society good? I myself um, I think that um, so when you're talking about a society that is good and just and works well, you are talking about a society. There's something called the veil of ignorance. Um, so what that means is that you want to design a society where you would be happy to live in that society, or you would be your well-being would be maintained in that society, um, without knowing what part of society you'd be put into. Okay, so the ideal society is one where you would be your well-being would be taken care of no matter who you are in that society. You don't know, so it's kind of like, and people compare it to this adage. I can't remember the author that also wrote it, and thank you so much for this is my lovely and beautiful wife who has shown up. I love you, baby. Thank you so much for showing up. She's amazing, so be nice to her. She is wonderful and gorgeous and absolutely kind and wonderful. Um, so the idea of you're cutting a cake, right? So you're basically deciding how resources and how we take care of the cake that we have. Um, the whole idea is you divide it up in a way that you don't know which piece you're going to get. So, what that will do is make sure that every piece is equal, that you won't cut yourself a big slice because you don't know which slice you're going to get. Because if you cut a large slice, another one has to be small, right? There's only so much to go around. And if you cut a large slice for yourself, there is a chance you'll get the small one. So that's the veil of ignorance. You don't know what you're going to get. And that is the most just way to design a society where you don't know what you'll get. So, what we ought to do, in my opinion at least, is what's good for society has to preserve the fundamental right to well-being of the lowest members of the society. Or when I say lowest, I'm not talking about sort of you know how they ought to be seen. It's just the least privileged members of society. There ought to be preservation of their well-being as well. You in looking at the society, you should be able to say, I wouldn't mind being at that low part of society because my well-being would be taken care of as well. And I mean, I don't think that requires any kind of degree or anything. I think that just requires basic empathy and understanding that when you look at society, you sort of you will say, hey, if I was in that position, my well-being would still be taken care of. It doesn't mean that you have to say, hey, we've got to make, some the people that are poor and maybe have some problems the same as incredible people incredibly well off. That's not what it means. But at least you can say, hey, if I was in that position, at least my well-being would be taken care of. And I do want to, sidestep a bit and push, hey, that does include universal healthcare as well. But looking at this sort of, so they've targeted, and this, don't forget, this is 2023. This is 2023. This is 1 month into the year. 1 month. And that's horrifying. And I know Stephanie, and it's really good to see you, Stephanie. You've brought it up. Um, I yeah, yep. Take kids away from their parents, and that's what we want to look at. Um, so so they've put in 35 bills to target healthcare access, so limit healthcare access for transgender people, which is horrifying. I was just talking about universal healthcare. Not everybody will need the same level of healthcare in our society, but you don't get to take it away because you don't think they deserve it. You don't think that they need that. I mean, are we going to decide that um, we don't need healthcare for certain people in our society? That's not how any of this works. Um, they're trying to stop people from participating in sports in schools. So look at the knock-on effect from this. It is entirely reasonable to think that being able to participate in sports benefits people long term going into their life as far as healthcare benefits and healthiness and an active lifestyle benefits. You cannot take a segment of the population, restrict them from sports at a young age, and expect no ramifications from that. If sports at a young age is gives you healthy lifestyles when you get older, and taking away that thing that we're talking, that is horrible. I don't think they've thought about this. They've just gone, um, um, no, we're going to take this away. Alosh says 18-year-olds can't even rent a car or a hotel room. Society needs to decide an age of consent. Well, yeah, sure, Alicia, but these people, they're trans, they're not underage. And if you're deciding that a person cannot participate in sports or some kind of activity because they're trans, it's the same as saying, hey, we're not going to let you participate because you're black. It is inherently biased, because then what you're not talking about is the age, because you're willing to give the privilege to cis or non-trans people at the same age. So the age argument that, sort of they're not old enough isn't an argument, because you'll give cis people of the same age that privilege. So it can't be due to the age. It can't be, Alicia. I'm really sorry, but it can't be. Um, so they can't update their information. Yeah, they can't sort of say that I want to put Miss Maria Reid on my driver's license. Just say I was trans, and I want to put Miss Maria Reid, and that's who I feel that I am. And who does that affect? It affects absolutely nobody else in society. It is just how I feel within myself. And you're saying, no, you can't do that. On all of your ID, all of your documents, all of your things, you've got to put Mark Reid. Even though, and let me make this clear, I could legally change my name to, um, I could legally change my name to Unicorn. Unicorn smells the grass, right? I could legally change my name to that, but I can't say that I'm Miss Maria or Mrs. Maria Reid on my driver's license. That seems inherently unfair, especially when I could change my name to the Boiled Egg Man, or anything really, as long as it's not crass or insulting or demeaning in some way. There's some laws about that, like I couldn't change my name to N-word hater or something, but I could change my name to you know the donkey. I could change my name to anything, but I can't change my name to Mrs. Maria Hill because apparently that pronoun is just inviolatable. Like you can't, it's untouchable for some reason. And I don't know, I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, she was the thumbnail a while back, actually. The trans issue in sport is essentially stealth male chauvinism. Um, yes and no. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And when you're talking about kids, but you're talking about kids sport, Aloysia. Usually, the girls born biologically female are bigger than the boys at a young age. They just are. That's the way that puberty happens. The girls get bigger first, or the girls born biologically female get bigger first, and then the boys catch up and overtake. And by the time they've hit, 16, 17, 18, they've become a lot bigger. And so that argument doesn't work either. I'm really sorry, it just doesn't. Yeah, so again, the bathroom bills are being put into place. Amendments to, yeah, and this defining transgender people out of existence. And Stephanie was talking about this one. And so this bill, South Carolina General Assembly, amendment to the article, biological sex at birth constitutes that a person's gender for the purposes of the state constitution and laws. Right? They cannot be anything else. They cannot be anything else. Right? Defining them out of existence into law, I might add. Okay, so let me put it to you this way. If our laws are gender neutral, which they should be, which they absolutely should be, why are our laws not gender neutral? Why are there laws that apply to women and men differently? Why is that? Why can't we be treated as people under the law and not a gender? Why is that? If that's the case, then there's something inherently wrong there. So what does it matter what your gender is under the law? What does it matter? Should it matter? Ought it matter or not? And I would put it to you, it shouldn't make one iota of difference whether you're a man or a woman under the law. We should be treated as people under the law. Like there may be some bills passed to say, hey, women should get this because of certain things, men should get this because of certain things. But why can't we just include all women in that and all men in that? I don't understand. It's such, considering the problems that we have to face in our society, this is so pointless. Like, so pointless. Why are we doing this? there's impoverished people. There's problems with employment. There's problems with the budgetary problems. There's all of these issues. There's industry problems. There's a ton of issues, and we're really worried about what people are calling themselves. Come on, prioritize people. Doesn't make any difference. It's not even an issue. It's solving a problem that doesn't exist. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, this one is one that the lovely Bree sent me to, and she is just such a wonderful person. I can't speak highly of that enough. And she sent this over. So this is a crime to perform drag shows and cabarets in the presence of children. But the problem is that these bills, they so loosely define what a drag show is, that the problem comes that they prevent parents from seeing their children, essentially. So if you define a drag person as somebody that is a woman, or say a man that dresses up as a woman, or vice versa, if you define it as that, then the problem comes that you can, if you want to put it to a stretch, you can define a trans person simply seeing their kids as a drag show, because it doesn't get into what that actually is. It just basically says it's a man dressed up as a woman, or vice versa. Somebody dressed up as the gender they weren't assigned at birth, essentially. And calling them perverts and stuff is not helpful. It's not. This is really horrible. That this is really horrible. And it was voted to advance it. It's voted 79-13, and this is North Dakota. I don't know what North Dakota is like. Yeah. See, my problem with this is basically that you're putting through laws that vote 79-13 to sort of discriminate against these people. However, what you're also doing is taking your kids to Hooters, right? This is the problem here. It's not. It's the gross not level playing field. You are basically making it illegal for the trans to interact with children, while at the same time it's fine to take your kids to Hooters, or any of these other shows, or it's absolutely horrible. But I must admit, I've gone off on a way tangent, so I do apologize. But I did want to put this out there, and sort of. So I'm going to put a link to the ACLU, which is the American Civil Liberties Union, in the chat. So check it out. These are 120 bills in 2023 as well, and I think that people have to speak up against this kind of stuff. We have to say that just because we are not trans ourselves, that we don't stand, because people talk, and this is the thing I want to say, and this will be the last thing. Okay, last thing. People say about the trans, those people and them, and they do this and they do that. They're not them, they're us. We're all us. We're all a society, and we all generally want the same things, and we like the same things, and we're trying to get through our lives, and it's hard and it's struggling, and they're us. There's no them and us. We are them. They are us. They are part of the fabric of our society. And having some different threads to the fabric of our society is a good thing. There's no harm in having different opinions and different perspectives, and we can discuss them and argue about them, and we can put down what's right and what's wrong, what's best for society, what's not best for society. I don't claim to know exactly what's best for society all round, but vilifying a whole group of people and basically making them something that is not accepted into our society, I don't believe that can be good for society. History has shown us unequivocally when we do this, it demeans our society and lessens all of us. The human rights movement for black people, the horrible attacks on gay people, all of this, we look back now and say, hey, that lessened all of us. We were a morally poorer people for having done all of those things. This is no different. We will look back on this and say we were morally poorer doing that to ourselves. So this is something I feel passionate about. It's something my wife feels very passionate about, and I love that about her. Um, I love the trans community. I think that they are fighting a brutal fight that the gay community already went through, and the black community already went through, and the Native American community already. These people. We need to stand together. We need to stand with them, because if we don't stand up for the people who are getting the smallest cake slice, then maybe no one will stand with us when we get that small slice. And I just want to send all my love out to the entire trans community, and please, I want to give my full support. Whatever I can do, I'll try to do. But in my country, it's not as bad, and I get that, and I really feel for everybody out there who are struggling through the legislation being formed to wipe you out of fucking existence. Let's face it. I'm so sorry. I will close this down now, but I did want to speak my piece on it, and thank you so much for indulging me. And my wife says, Philosophy Tube did a video on the NHS. NHS is the British medical system, by the way, National Health Service, so the English health system. Failing trans kids devastating. Okay, yeah. All right, and yeah, I believe it. But I just want to say, let's stand up for the people of our society who are trying to be acknowledged as people. I mean, I think that's the least we can do. Anyway, moving on, lighter topics. But I did want to get that out there, because I do know a few people that are struggling, and thank you so much for indulging me in that little rant. I really want to sort of make it clear where I stand on this, and I will stand there forever. If I can't stand up for the people in our society who are downtrodden, then because I actually went through when I was going through sort of high school and stuff like that, and being autistic, I sort of confused about women, and I didn't know. I was basically bullied for being gay, and I'm not gay, but I have been on the receiving end of that malice and that hate and that prejudice. And I think that when you're on the receiving end of sort of bias and prejudice, you will understand why it is wrong. If you're angry about being singled out and saying, well, you're white, you're horrible, then imagine how they feel. Like, try to times that by 1,000,000, and then you'll start to understand how these poor people in our society are feeling. They're feeling victimized, they're feeling bullied, they're feeling and I won't speak for them, actually, but I'm trying to I think we should use our empathy to understand how other people feel. So let's use our empathy. Get into I am the asshole. So sorry. I did want to do this, though. That felt good to get that out there and off my chest. I don't speak out a lot about it, but today's the time. I guess it's all clickbait. This isn't am I morally bankrupt at all? No, it's how our society is failing the people who make up that society. That is what's happening. Pandora's box. I never met Pandora. I'm sure she has a marvelous box. I'd hit that. Like, come on now. Beamsy, you shouldn't dare me to do a poll, mate. I'll do it. Okay. Absolutely, Nanalu. Empathy is underrated. Thank you. But I will do a poll. Beamsy, you shouldn't have said that. You should not have said that. You should not have said that. Absolutely. Yeah, let's start a poll. And you'll probably notice, that I've actually done something about my keyboard. And I was talking to Amy. I think I was on Amy's stream when I was saying this. And Amy Newman, fantastic streamer. If you haven't joined one of Amy's rooms or discussions or things like that, I highly recommend it. She is amazing. I've learnt a lot from her, and she is one of the best people I know. Just a wonderful person. But I'll put the poll out there. I think I'm going to link to Amy's stream. So I was talking with her, and I found a program, and a video program that basically stops the keyboard clacking and everything. So your ears will now love what I've done. I really apologize. That's been a problem in the past. I'm learning. Look, I'm no good with like sort of audio visual stuff and things like that. My sort of focus with computers is at the nuts and bolts level, application level, which is sort of the programs that you run. I'm just as clueless as anybody else, to be honest with you. Like, seriously. But here's a link to Amy's stream, because she is absolutely wonderful. And I hardly recommend to subscribe to her, because she's doing things all the time. She does sort of make a joke or ask me anything. She does Bible readings from an atheist point of view. She does all kinds of stuff. Really cool, awesome person, and excellent debater. I've learned a lot from her debate sort of tactics. I realize those categories don't fit, but okay, let's get into it. Am I morally bankrupt, or them? I think in this case of the trans rights being absolutely tore up in in America at the moment, in 120 bills in 1 month. Yeah, they're the asshole. Yeah, absolutely the asshole. Boom mic, even an NGT2. Well, it's not so much room noise. It's more my keyboard. So this is, look, Alicia, I'll do this just for you, because I love you so much. Here's my program. I am currently typing while talking. That's my program while it's not enabled, right? That's what you hear. I'll turn off noise removal and echo removal. Okay, so this is what it's like when it hasn't been turned on. So this is what you can hear. Yeah. Do you see the difference? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that cool? I hope that worked. Like, I hope it hasn't been silenced twice, or else I'm going to look like an idiot. But yeah, that's incredible. I think that's insane, and people have complained. So I sincerely apologize. Something has been. I listen. I do listen. All of your comments, I'm on board. I love it when people provide feedback. If you want to provide feedback for this, like Mark ranted too much at start of episode, let me know. I love getting feedback. I'm not threatened in the slightest. And if you have any suggestions or anything you want to tell me, please do. I will read it. I 100% will. So let's go. Let's go. Oh, and the other thing this program does is, hang on a sec, check out this. I was doing this on Amy's. I can't avoid it. Look at this. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. I'm really stoked with that. It follows your head around. It's yeah. Oh, Alicia, well, this is working for me. This is working for me, mate. If I have any problems, and thank you so much for recommending stuff. This is working for me. But if I have any problems, yeah, I'll definitely hit you up sometime and sort of say, hey, what else can help? But it seems to be doing the trick. It seems to be doing the trick, mate. It uses some kind of AI neural network kind of thing, which is just awesome. I love it. Okay, so alarming money. What is alarming money? Is that like I have an alarming amount of money? Wow. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's go. Am I the asshole for making homemade food for everyone except my brother's stepdaughter? I just got a Spaceballs moment from that one. I made everyone food except my brother's stepfather's nephew's daughter's former roommate. I don't know why. Your brother's stepdaughter. So that would make it your step niece? Yes? Step niece. Yes. I, 27 female, am not a professional chef. Well, okay. But I've taken a bunch of cooking classes and love making elaborate meals for my friends and family. I would say I love making elaborate meals, but I do like making nice meals. I like it when you make something and people just enjoy the meal. I do like that. Yeah, Tuck says that makes us absolutely nothing. Yeah, so you probably shouldn't have made homemade food for them. About 2 years ago, my brother, Greg, 25 male, married Cheryl, 34 female. Okay, 9 years older, gone for the older woman. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the older woman. That's fine. Oh, Nanalu says you have to pick your ground. Oh, that's sweet, Nanalu. Yeah, give her my best, and thank you so much. Listening, no problem. But thank you for being here. Even if you have to go, no problem at all, Nanalu. It's so good to see you. Cheryl has a daughter from a previous relationship, Becca, 9 female. Okay, who has several health conditions, including celiac. Yep, and a severe yes. So celiac disease is an allergy to gluten. So you can't have wheat or wheat products, anything with gluten in it, and a severe dairy allergy that requires her to carry an EpiPen. Okay, so we've got some. The Becca has got some problems with what they can eat. I know. Sorry, Hillary's emails. The poster in the poll is the politicians. I know it doesn't cover it because usually we're doing Am I the Asshole? Look, Beamsy forced me to do this and I wasn't prepared for it, all right? So I'm going to blame Beamsy, which I usually do and is a safe bet because it's usually his fault anyway. But anyway, this time I am blaming Beamsy, but that is the politicians. Yes, that is the people who are making the legislation. So they're posting the legislation, if you will, right? So are they the asshole? Are the people resisting the legislation or the posting the asshole for resisting it? Or is everybody an asshole in this situation? Or is no one an asshole in this situation? Beamsy is the Myron of this channel. Yes, he is. And I love Beamsy. Beamsy is a great person. Okay, so the blame Beamsy hashtag blame Beamsy. Last week I had dinner. I made a fancy 5-course dinner. Okay, so they made a dinner for your parents' wedding anniversary. Okay. I made a fancy 5-course dinner. In addition to my parents, I invited 4 close family friends: Greg, Cheryl, Becca, and my sister. So you invited her boyfriend and their twins, both 8 male. Okay, so yeah. Because of Becca's food restrictions, I found a restaurant in town that specializes in gluten-free, dairy-free, as well as the allergen-free food, and arranged for them to make a full meal for Becca that I could pick up in advance of the party. I have made a variety of specialty meals in the past, for example, keto meals when my friend was following that diet, and I like the challenge, but I know how serious Becca's restrictions were. I didn't trust myself to make her meal. I have ADHD and can easily get distracted, and even if I used the wrong spoon or didn't completely wash some flour off a bowl, it could make her incredibly sick. That would have to be a very severe case of celiac disease. I think that if that happened, you would probably make them a bit tired, but I'm not sure about incredibly sick. That could be true, though. If she does have a very severe celiac disease, that could be true. I thought the takeout solution was fine, but when I served the food, I saw Cheryl looking at Becca's plate with a stony face. Look, you probably should have told the parents first. You probably should have said to the parents, "Hey, I know Becca has all these allergies. I'm not comfortable cooking for that." Um, and they probably would have told you, "Hey, if you have a little bit of flour, or if something gets in there, it'll be fine." For her part, Becca started eating and seemed fine. Cheryl whispered to Greg, and Greg asked if he could talk to me in the kitchen. At least he didn't do it at the table. That's okay, Greg. When we got there, he said it was unbelievable that I couldn't be bothered to make something for Becca, and that they'd been bragging about what a great cook I am to her, and that he knew I'd made keto, vegan, and other complicated kinds of food in the past. Now she would feel left out because she didn't get to eat what the rest of the family was eating. He said that it was obvious I didn't care about making his stepdaughter feel like a part of the family and that they were leaving. Okay, that's a bit extreme. Greg, Cheryl, and Becca then left, which put a damper on the rest of the party. Well, I mean, yeah, I felt like I did my best at the time, but in hindsight, I wonder if I should have tried harder to make Becca feel included, since she is a relatively new addition to our family. Am I the asshole? Mm. And Beamsy said it was the dairy needing an EpiPen cross contamination is a real risk. Sure. And you can sort of um, you could sort of bring that up with the parents and say, look, I feel really nervous about this. So, like in most of these, and there's a constant thread in this, people don't communicate. They go ahead and assume something and do it, and they don't actually communicate what it is that they're doing. If you ran it by the parent, the parent said, no, we trust you, just do your best, kind of thing, you can get gluten-free flour, you can make something that's not sort of has dairy in it, kind of thing. The parents would be able to suggest something you could make that doesn't have dairy in it. That there's ways around this. And if you said to the parents beforehand, look, I am so uncomfortable about this, I don't feel I can do it, I think you could come to an understanding. I think that you could, if the parents wanted to bring something, if the parents wanted to help you ahead of time, so that you wouldn't, supervise or whatever, so you wouldn't stuff up, you could then organize that. We need to communicate how we're feeling a bit better. I don't think it would rise to the level of being an arsehole, though, to be honest with you. I think that you've made an assumption and a mistake, or it's not even really a mistake. You did what you thought. And this is what I brought up about moral intuitions, right? She went, I want to cook, but I am so worried about trust me, making the gluten-free thing is a pain in the ass. No, it's not. Well, I mean, can be. It depends what it is, but you can get gluten-free flour and stuff. And admittedly, it doesn't taste as good as regular flour, but it isn't completely terrible. Um, yeah, I think that she just went, well, I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to assume, but I don't think that makes her an arsehole. I think she thought she was doing the best, and her sort of moral intuition, her gut feeling was, well, I'll provide something and go out of my way to provide something. I mean, going and getting food from a restaurant isn't exactly doing nothing. It's not like she said, oh, well, here's some carrot sticks for her and good luck. Like, come on now, she tried. Um, I think that in hindsight, we can rationally look back and go, okay, well, probably the more moral thing to do was discuss it ahead of time with the parents. But I don't think that makes her an asshole. Definitely not. She's not morally bankrupt. She acted in a moral way. Was it the optimal moral way? Maybe not, but she still did act in a moral way. No, she's not an asshole. I probably left the old poll up again, didn't I? I will consistently do that. Whoops, sorry, peeps. Till the end of time. Till the end of time. Yeah. So, and I probably left this poll up again. And the poll says Poster is a moral monster. Poster has done nothing wrong. Okay, so we got an even split over this. Okay, well that was the poll about trans legislation, which is kind of a bit worrying, to be honest with you. But that's okay. I'm gonna stand by what I've said. I will 100% stand by what I've said till the end of time. Yeah, I kind of feel like I agree with you, Beamsy. I kind of feel like that they were being buttholes. Yeah, no, I get you, buddy. I get you. Let's see, starting bought food. I'll get my little thing here. Yeah. So, but I mean, this is the thing about moral intuitions, and we can kind of look back and go, okay, well, that was my first thought, but there was something better I could do, and that's okay. That's how we sort of we can use rationality to um to oh, sweetie, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I realize it wasn't the question wasn't exactly set up for. It was set up for AIMBOT and not some random trans poll that Beamsy demanded out of the blue. But I've got a obsession with polls, so yeah, yeah. Yeah. See what the Reddit people say. I'm honestly in disbelief, thought done something wrong. Yeah. No, not the arsehole. Yeah, Red's agreeing, which is a bit weird, but certain not to give your child an allergic reaction. Ridiculous. Oh my god, my son is 3.5, and the way he asks things have weight, and the little sadness he gets breaks my fucking heart. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you frontally. My mother had a celiac disease. It's brutal. It's brutal what gluten is in that you don't realize it is in. It is used as a thickener in tons of stuff. A Mars bar has gluten in it. Like just some candy has gluten in it, used as a thickener for caramel and things like that. It's actually sucks. It's horrible. So yeah, I really feel for the girl who not only has a gluten allergy, she's got a dairy allergy as well. So I don't I don't think that I don't think that the poster was doing the wrong thing. I think that, yeah, I think that the other people overreacted in a big way. She's not a toddler. She can form her own opinions whether she felt left out or not. You know what? I think Beamsy says I made sausages for my grandfather who was celiac and he nearly cried as that was one thing. Oh, that's so sweet, Beamsy. That's so nice of you. Yeah, sausages because they use wheat in sort of part of it, to make the sort of some of the sort of bready texture kind of thing in sort of gourmet sausages. Yeah, yeah. Did you use sort of gluten free wheat? Is that what you did, Beamsy? Because when gluten-free wheat started, it tasted like soybeans. It was dreadful. Because my mother was one of the first. Well, not one of the first, but she was very, very early on in our understanding of celiac disease and what it meant for people. So the products weren't as good as they are nowadays. They're actually not too bad nowadays, but the old gluten-free wheat just tasted like soybeans. Basically, it was nasty stuff, but it did get better sort of as the years went along. So she had that for about 20 years before she died. And Yeah, it was rough. She always had to watch what she was eating. Oh my god, she was a boss. Unreasonable entitlement because of her mother. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Celiac and dairy allergies are no joke. Absolutely. All about bird. Absolutely. Your brother understand why he made special meal. Okay, so the poster, who was the cook in this case, went on to say he was angry when we talked, so I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I spoke to Cheryl about this issue when she asked if I could make an allergen-free cake for Becca's birthday last year. So she's told the wife about this. I told her about my anxiety over possibly making her sick and offered to make flower decorations out of fondant if she could find a suitable cake, which she did. I mistakenly assumed, based on this conversation, that she understood my hesitation to cook for Becca. Yeah, so this is sort of communication, um, and that's not to say at all that the person did the cooking is somehow wrong for not communicating this. But um, when we're looking at moral things, there's usually a spectrum of morality to actions. That some things are obviously less moral than others. Some are more moral. We can have sort of and that differentiates between sort of an optimum morality or moral necessity. Like, what do you have to do to at a minimum be moral, kind of thing. um, like, for instance, you may want to give money to every single charity that comes your way, but you can't, because if you did that, if you gave money to every charity you wanted to give money to, you would be broke and homeless. So um, there's sort of a moral necessity to how you live in society, like what things at a minimum you ought to do. And then there's sort of I can't remember the name of it. It's sort of a moral superiority. Like, if you do give to a lot of charities, you are definitely morally superior to someone that doesn't. But that doesn't make that person an immoral person for not giving charity. That's not the case. So we're looking at sort of um, at a moral optimum, maybe she should have communicated to them, but that doesn't make them a bad person at all, at all. She just made a sort of her moral intuition, and her moral intuition did not line up with the other person's. Oh yeah, dairy and nut. Look, even nut allergies are so bad that they're sort of used in movies as a killing device most times. It really is one of those things that can absolutely mess people up. Um, absolutely mess them up. Yeah, so I think Reddit's sort of on my side here. That look, everyone's on my side as far as I'm concerned. But um, yeah, and we've got ladies and gentlemen, we've got 100% poster has done nothing wrong. 100%. Wow, I think that's the first 100% we've ever had. Give yourself a round of applause, everybody. First total agreement on the Mark Reed channel here. You saw it first. First total agreement. And Reddit agrees as well. Wow, that's a first. That's a first. I'm impressed. I'm proud of you all. We can come to moral agreement on things. This is the proof. This is the proof. We can have moral agreement, apparently. Okay, next one. But yeah, we all agree on this situation. There you go. There you go. This is responsible wind, as opposed to responsible fire, water, and air. Sorry, and fire, water, and earth. Unless it goes election interference. No, stop. Look, if you want to plead election interference, then you've got to show that that actually happened in a court of law. In a court of law, and I mean this is the court of law. I happen to be the judge, so okay. Am I the asshole for telling and responsible wind? What's irresponsible wind exactly? What does that look like? Is that just random gusts that blow over pigs or something? What is irresponsible? Anyway, responsible wind, wind that is responsible. Am I the arsehole for telling my roommate that speaking a language is not a personality and she needs a new one? What? What does that even mean? Um, And Hill Hugger says, I think you might need poor communication skills as an option in every poll. Look, I think I've only got four options. That's all the poll allows you to do is four options. So I'm not bristling with options here, Hill Hugger. I think sort of if it's just poor communication and nobody really is an asshole, they just got misunderstood. I think saying that no one is to blame is probably the best option for you. I mean, I'd love to put that in, but options are limited, unfortunately, and I have to cover the main ones. But it is a good suggestion. It definitely is a good suggestion. So someone's basically said, "Hey, your entire personality is that you speak languages, and that's it." I think you're an asshole, to be honest with you. I, female 19, am in my first year of college, living with a roommate, Katie, female 19. Katie speaks three languages: English, German, and Spanish, which is the romantic languages, right? So they're basically the languages that stemmed. Wait, is Germanic a romantic language? Maybe I'm thinking of French. I think I'm thinking of French. I think I'm thinking of French. I think that German is Germanic, right? It's not a Romance language. Right. It's not. Yeah. So she speaks two Romance language and Germanic language. She makes it her whole personality. Whenever I ask what she's watching something in another language. So obviously I can't watch it. Subtitles, people? Subtitles? Yeah, you're absolutely right. German is Germanic. Yeah, absolutely. My bad. I got that wrong. So yeah. So but three languages is really impressive. So obviously I can't watch it. Subtitles. Subtitles. Uh no. English is romantic because it stems from Latin. It's definitely romantic, I think. Well, wait, do I have that wrong? Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Oh, yeah, you're right. Ooh. You're absolutely right. I'm totally wrong. I do stand corrected. There we go. I'm totally wrong. I speak 5 languages as well and 2 others a little. That I find that impressive, Hillary, but apparently the poster here thinks that that's your entire personality and you've got nothing else about you kind of thing. So there you go. There you go. I do know that. I do know that. I think Brain Bug is a fantastic name. I think that's a fantastic name, but that's not necessarily what you go by now. Look, I just call people whatever they want to be called. You know, I'm from a gamer community, and in a gamer community, like nobody uses their real name. You know, nobody does. Everybody just calls themselves by their tags, which they basically just make up. My gamer tag is Vector Slide. That's what people have been calling me for years in my gaming community. People call me Vecchi all the time, or Vector, all the time. That's what they call me. That's who I am. Um, I mean, there's a guy. My best friend in my gamer community is a guy known as Warlord, and I struggle to remember his real name sometimes. Like I know he is Warlord to me, and that's okay. That's fine. That's gamer community. You call people by their gamer tags. What their real name is doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I love Bumblebee. I think that is so wonderful and sweet. Well, I mean, vector slides, it's just singular and not plural. It's just singular, but yeah, vector slide. Well, I got that gamer name after I saw oh, that's okay, Nanalu. Like I said, I call people whatever they want to be called because it doesn't matter to me. I got that name when I was looking for a gamer name and I came across a vector slide rule, which was like it's a ruler for measuring the vectors in physics kind of thing. And it's not even used anymore. Like it's ancient technology. We don't use that stuff kind of thing. But I thought, hey, that is a cool gamer tag, right? Vector slide rule. And so I just took the first part of it. And that's basically how I got my name. And I have been using it for so many years now, probably about, 25 years or so, quarter of a century. That's insane. Anyway, I'm you people and your distractions. I don't. Monkey for Banana is a great name. I agree. Hive Science. I agree. Bumblebee. Monkey for Banana is great. Is great. Whenever I ask what she's watching them in another language, yes, just subtitles can fix that. That's not an objection. She's always listening to music on her headphones, and when I tried to bond and listen to what she's listening in, it's another language again, and I couldn't stand it. All right, you don't like her music. It's irrelevant of the language. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Music is music. You don't like music. I mean, yeah, the lyrics might be important to you, but if you don't like the music, you don't like the music. That's fine. Her friends all speak one of the languages she does, and whenever I hear them, I can't join the conversation because they are mixing everything, so I'm left out of their combo. Okay. The other day, I saw she had a new book on her desk, a Portuguese course book. I asked her about this, and she said she's taking private Portuguese classes starting February. I told her she has to let it go. What do you mean? That she needs to develop her personality because speaking a language isn't a personality trait and she's just boring. Oh, honey, you are such a bitch. I'm sorry. Wow. She got really annoyed at me. I wonder why, and told me I'm an asshole and to stop eavesdropping on her combos. I told her she's boring and she has to fake her personality. Oh, this poster is just an absolute asshole. I told her she's boring. Now she's not speaking to me. I wonder why. My friends are split. Some agree with me, some agree with her. Who's the asshole here? Am I the asshole for telling the truth? You're not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth. Look, can I make a guess at what this person who's speaking the languages is doing in college? I'm going to make a guess. See if you can make this guess for me. Guesses in the chat. Guesses in the chat what this person who knows 3 languages is studying. Do we all know? Probably frigging linguistics. She's probably studying language. She's got a Portuguese course book. She's taking private Portuguese classes. She's adding to her languages. This is what linguists do. It would be like living with somebody who's doing computer science and complaining that they're making computers their personality. That's not cool. That's Look, she loves language. Why are we going to stifle that? And I agree, Monkey for Banana. Reddit's going to chew her out. Absolutely. And she probably needs it too. Carmen Sandiego, yes. International woman of mystery. Look, if she knows 3 languages working on a 4th, more power to her. Yeah, I don't like. Why can't we embrace people for what they find passionate, right? Why can't we say, hey, you love languages? That's amazing. That's awesome. You know, why do we have to say, hey, this person is all into this and sort of, that's all they talk about kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, because that's what they love. Some people love social media. They'll just talk about social stuff all the time. That's fine. I get it. That's cool. Some people love computers and they talk about computers all the time. That's fine too. Why are we sort of saying, hey, one person is acceptable and one person's a geek who should be shunned by society kind of thing? Or if you're talking about languages all the time, why do you have to stifle that passion? What? Yeah, so this poster, yeah. Yeah, you're the asshole. Jealousy is not a personality either. But, yeah, the drunk scientist. That is that's a comment right there. I think we're all thinking it, right? So, what do you do when you have a roommate? You have a roommate and you don't seem to have much in common because that's basically what it is. Um, Essentially what you do is you find common ground and accommodate, their likes with your likes kind of thing. So I mean, she's she is all into languages. It's probably what she's studying. um um if you don't like her music or her movies, don't watch them with you. But maybe they both like to, they both like ice cream, or maybe they both like a certain artist that's in English, or maybe they both like um you know going to the college cafeteria and getting lunch and just talking about current events or something. You can find common ground. You don't have to share every interest of your friends. That's not necessary. I think that the posters come from sort of a high school situation where they've had a circle of friends and everybody likes the same thing as everybody else. If one of them goes, well, this artist is awesome, they're cool, they do this kind of thing, then everybody agrees. That's not what real life is like, honey. I'm really sorry. Really sorry, but you're going to have to grow up at 19. I get you're young. You think that things, and the way that she was talking about, oh, I told her the truth. Things are not that simple. Things are not that simple. You're saying she is boring, like that is the truth. She could be boring to you. Boring is a subjective thing. It is a perspective based thing. What one person finds incredibly boring, another person can find it the most exciting thing in the world. boring is not a thing that is just, oh, this is boring while this is exciting. That is not the case. I'm really sorry, but that's just not the case. Oh, I don't even want to deal with that monkey for banana. I just, yeah, pig Latin. I just. Can you speak pig Latin? Yeah, I don't. I think I've got too much to think about without doing pig Latin right now. Yeah, but like, okay, so when also it's the same when you actually meet up with somebody and have a relationship. You're not going to like everything they like. My wife, she loves certain things that I don't like. She likes certain music that I don't like. I don't. She goes to those, if she wants to go to a concert, she goes by herself. I don't mind, but I'm not into that kind of thing. But there are things that we love doing together. It's okay. You don't have to love exactly the same thing to have a fulfilling relationship. You can go off and do your own thing. I love computer games, adore them. She doesn't, and that's fine. She loves certain series on TV that I just don't get into, and that's fine. It's fine. But we have that common ground that we both love doing certain things. There's some TV shows we both adore. There's some music that we both adore. There's conversations that we have and morally and sort of on current events and certain positions in society that we absolutely agree on, and we love talking about them, and you have those really wonderful conversations. And that's okay if you cannot stand something that your wife is doing and you want to go do something else. That's fine. If that's all your relationship is, like you doing two different things and not sort of interacting with one another, yeah, it's a problem. But don't expect that the people you live with, your roommates, or even your partner is going to love everything you do, because that's just not reality. I'm surprised OP has friends anymore. Ugh. That's a yeah. She has a personality. She has friends, interests, hobbies. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I love to ask people. Yes, Degrassi High. I don't get Degrassi High. I don't get it. I don't love it. I just it annoys me. My wife loves it, and I love that about her. She thinks it's wonderful and awesome, and I love that she gets into it. I think we should celebrate what people love. Celebrate it. Somebody like, we saw this guy who was like really into trains kind of thing, and he was just so excited at trains. That would bore me, but I love that he was excited about it. I love that he was like all into it kind of thing. I love that I love to hear what people are passionate about, even if I don't feel the same. um yeah, so I think yeah, no, yeah, no, Beamsy got it right. Reddit is tearing her a new one, and probably rightly so. You're the boring one, being so caught up in other people's stuff. Look, she might socializing may be what she's into, right? It may be what she's into, but she's going to have a hard time if she doesn't understand that others are thinking. And it does sound like jealousy. Yeah, like sort of, knowing other languages is good. I don't know another language. I'm I'm just reading Hive Science saying that my wife is dropping law. Yeah, no, totally. I think that I would love to learn another language. Probably Japanese is something I would love to, because I do watch anime as well. So I'd love to learn Japanese. I've sort of tried, sort of the free kind of stuff, and it doesn't get me. I have trouble focusing on it, but I would like to try and learn it. I suppose I'm leaving it a bit late kind of thing, but you know, you know, I guess it's never too late, right? Never too late. Yeah, no, you're just jealous that need to get a life. Yeah, no, Reddit's turned on the poster. Turned on the poster. Oh, is it a troll? I don't know if it's troll, people. Some people are saying it's troll. Some people barely speak one. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Although English is a stupid language, I'll always maintain that. Yeah, so bad English is commonly known as Australian, Beamsy, and you speak that as well, mate. It might be a Poe Beamsy, I'm not sure, but we can't second guess and try and pick it. It's the whole thing about Poe's law is that there is nothing somebody could troll with that is stupid enough that doesn't actually exist in the world. Like a Poe could come up with the stupidest position and it wouldn't be any stupider than what people actually believe in real life, So that's the whole point. It's impossible to tell the difference. The King's English, you're right, Nanalu, it's the King's English. It's not even the Queen's English. It's the King's English. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like that everything that was like Her Majesty's whatever is now got to be His Majesty's whatever. Like it's kind of odd. I'm not a royalist. I think that I mean it's nice that we're part of the Commonwealth, but I think what are we doing, people? Like, what are we doing? Seriously. The monarchs, like seriously, is that what we're doing? Oh, yeah, Poster is a moral monster. Well, we don't all agree, and I get that, but I think I get it right, Mark. Well, thanks for dropping in, Mathpig. It's good to see you. I'm so glad your trip went well, and I hope that you had a great time. I haven't had a chance to talk to you, and I do apologize. I've been sort of checking on your stream, see if I can come in and say something, but you haven't been live when I've been up. So, but I do want to get in and talk to you sometime. So if you could just start a stream for me personally, that would be great, Mathpig. You just get on that, as soon as possible. Next one from Individual Poem. Individual Poem. It's a very poetic name. Am I the asshole wasting money on a bathroom and not helping my brother? Wasting money on a bathroom. What is wasted money on a bathroom? I mean, is that like solid gold towel rack or something? Diamonds on your taps, or it's all about Daddy Mark Reid. Excuse me. That's the Honourable Judge Mark Reid. I'll have you know. You can read that under my name, and it's true because it's on YouTube and clearly written. That's how you know it's true. That's how you know it's true. My 10th anniversary is coming up, and my kids are getting old enough to pay a pain in the butt regarding our single bathroom. Yeah, I mean that kind of sucks, but things could be first world problems, I guess. Some people don't have a bathroom, but sure, like I got you. It'd be nice to know how many kids we're talking about here. I've been saving up, and for my 10th anniversary, I'm getting a bathroom installed in the basement. I'm going all out, well, as all out as I can afford. Is that normal? Can some American tell me that? Is that normal to have a bathroom in your basement? Is that as weird as it sounds, or is that just because Australians don't have basements, right? We don't do that. We kind of just make really big houses kind of thing. We don't do basements. We barely do attics either, actually. The one thing Australia, well, it's not one thing, but one of the things that Australia has in huge abundance is just sheer space, so we don't really need to do it. But I want to know, is that weird as it sounds, like having a bathroom basement, a basement bathroom? Sounds weird. Anyway, it's normal enough. My father-in-law loves his basement shower. Oh, there you go. There you go. I think they have to have drainages installed to avoid flooding. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess all bathrooms need drainage, I guess. I'm getting a 2-person tub with jets, in-floor heating, and a heat lamp so my wife can dry off and stay warm. Okay, cool. Anyways, the issue is my brother is having money problems. He called me and asked if I could spare some money to help him out. He has a tendency to live beyond his means. We have similar jobs and salaries, but he has a huge house with 3.5 bathrooms. He drives a $150,000 truck that he'll never use to tow, haul, or go off-road with. His wife's engagement ring cost as much as my motorcycle. Okay. So if he has money problems, he could sell his truck and buy a cheaper ride, essentially, I think is what he's trying to point out there. 3.5 bathrooms. Okay. My family lives in a bungalow my wife and I bought. It was built in 1956 and it's cozy for us and 2 kids. But my mum constantly compares our lifestyles. She loves showing people pictures of his Christmas decorations and stuff, and she shares his vacation pictures, that kind of thing. The bathroom budget is $25,000, but it'll probably go higher when the contract starts working. Yeah, that's kind of expected. My mum is backing him up. She says that I don't spend any money, so I should have some saved to help out the family. That logic is terrible. Excuse me, Mum. That logic is terrible. She's saying he might have to sell his truck or downsize his home. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Why can't he? Why can't he? I told her that's not really my problem. He makes a little more than I do a year, so he should have savings too. She said that he needs to have a big house so he can entertain since he wants to kiss ass all the way up the ladder. That might just mean, you think that's your interpretation? Yeah, that's basically interpretation. Wow. I don't want to lend him money and watch him waste it and disappoint my wife. Let me pass that one more time. I don't want to lend him money and watch him waste it and disappoint my wife. She deserves a bathroom where she can take long baths without the kids or me interrupting to use the toilet. I could cut corners and lend him some money, but I don't really want to do that, even if it means you have to sell his stuff. Okay, there's a story. Not the asshole as far as I'm concerned. It's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it. If your brother may have to downsize, he may have to downsize. This has been put away for a purpose, and that purpose is getting a bathroom installed. You're right. If your brother has money problems, then he shouldn't have lived so extravagantly. I mean, if he's got like $150,000 truck, I don't know. In Australia, like, that is a luxury vehicle from where I'm sitting, and that's fine. That's fine. If you've got the money to do that, you do it. Great, fantastic. But yeah, if you don't, well, you've got to cut back on some of the things in your life. Yeah, I agree, Blaster. Like, if he's got financial obligations that are above his means, he is not living to his means. That's basically it. It'd be nice to know why he suddenly needs this money. Like, did medical bills come up? Did something come up? But we're talking about a person that's saved so he can do something, and his brother is sort of spent and doesn't want to give up his lifestyle to solve his financial issues. No, you can't preserve your lifestyle off the back of somebody else. I'm really sorry. You just can't. It's not something that you can do. If you are in a position where you don't have assets to sell, or you can't provide for yourself financially, but this person can, they just need to give up the extravagant lifestyle that they can't afford. That's it. The morally bankrupt for not lending money. Yeah, and sort of, so even if he's lending money, if you're thinking he's just going to continue to spend it like he is, you probably won't get it back. That's ugh. Yeah, that's not cool. I don't know. That's not cool to me. I think that I guess depending on what it's for, like depending on what it's for. If he had to like, I mean, I don't know how how um I don't know how much money that the brother needs, but you know, if I mean, he's only talking about 25,000. His truck costs 5 times as much as what he's asking for, right? 5 times as much as he's asking for, or what he's got for the budget of his thing. God, just sell your truck. Get just a normal everyday. I mean, not a sedan, just a, I'm sorry, I'm bad with cars. Just a normal, car kind of thing. Get an electric car. Do something awesome. I don't know. How much is a Tesla these days, by the way? How much? Cost of Tesla in US. Yeah, 49,000. Wait, what truck costs 150K? Oh, a super truck. Oh, really? Oh no, fuck this guy. So that's the kind of thing that he's driving around saying, I need money. Oh yeah, fuck this guy. Yeah, no, that's yep, yep. And you're basically saying, no, don't renovate your house to help your family because I can't sell this monster truck that I've got. No, 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 no. Bad poster. Bad. Um, Not the asshole. Yeah. What's this one? Not the asshole? Yeah, not the asshole. Get the second bathroom here. He can sell the truck. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Beamsy. That's the kind of thing you need a ladder to get into. Absolutely. Like, just get a car. Like, um, or a 30K Honda Civic. Exactly. I'm gonna, yep, 30K Honda Civic. Honda Civic. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Beamsy, I already warned her about you, by the way. I already warned her about you, so she knows that you're. Hang on, wait. I does my wife had mod powers? Oh my god, my wife probably doesn't have mod powers. That's terrible. I'm a bad person. I'm so sorry. Um, let's let's get. So watch out, Beansy. She's got mod powers now. She can kick you or ban you. Look, I'm not going to protest. Seriously, I think you can close polls. How dare you? Maybe. Well, let's end this poll because I think this one is all wrapped up. Poster did nothing wrong. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Watch out, Beamsy. She's got a wrench and not afraid to use it. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page on this one. Not well, most people are on the same page. Not the arsehole. Okay, I might do one more because I'm feeling in a really good mood today. I do feel good today, so I might do one more. Posted by Share and Share Like. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter her brother doesn't have to share with her? It's it'd be nice if you sort of taught your children that sharing is good. It depends on what the reason is, you know. If you know the somebody needs something, you know, like something to do something, and you know they're using crayons and they want to draw with the crayons and they don't share, you know, that particular crayon, you can say, hey, they're using it, you can use it after they finish. But if you're saying no, they don't have to share anything with you, yeah, that's probably not a good idea, because you know the idea of sharing things helps everybody. My oldest recently started jobs as a busboy in a local restaurant after school. Sorry, I got a really itchy nose. Just one second. Ah, the stealth nose scratch. Well, actually, it wasn't so stealthy because I just told everybody about it. But anyway, started busboy at the local restaurant after school. He frequently comes home with leftover food and shares with us and his siblings. His siblings, plural. Sunday, he worked a longer shift for extra pay because he didn't have school. He came on home and didn't want to do his Sunday chores. He asked his younger sibling to do his chores for him because he was tired. His younger sister said no, okay, that him being tired wasn't her problem. His younger brother agreed to do it. Last night, when he came home, he would only share with his younger brother. His younger sister said it wasn't fair because she likes the restaurant food. My wife started to tell him to share, but before I could, I told him we need to let the kids work out their own conflicts as long as everyone is safe and not get involved. That's actually very, very smart. You need to be able to work out between the children. In the end, our oldest son didn't share with our daughter, and she was very upset. She refused to eat dinner, saying that the food her mother and I made was gross. Okay. My wife said I was an asshole and encouraging our son to dangle the privileges of his age over his siblings' heads. I think it was a good lesson on how doing things for others pays off, and in the end, personally. My daughter is 11. Let's chill with the name calling people. Oh, Reddit, you never change. You never change, Reddit, ever. You're still the same place you've always been. Oh, Reddit. Yeah, so really the question is a punitive so the son is doing something nice for his siblings. He's getting this food, bringing it home, getting it to Thingo. He is doing something nice, and the other child is basically, well, I'm not going to do this for you. I think that it's a good lesson in that if you accept something from people, you're not obliged to do something, but you can't complain when they stop doing nice things for you. That just as you're under no obligation to do things for somebody else, they're under no obligation to do things for you. And it's sort of, you can come to, so the words we want to use here is the daughter has come to take it for granted that this food will be coming to her. And that needs to be changed because it isn't taken for granted. It is not an automatic expectation that you're going to be taken care of because things change. Things always change. I think this is how you sort of have um, sort of privilege forming and kids that expect things to come to them. They will go, well, I've always gotten this. Doesn't mean somebody has to continue to do nice things for you. Just because you're someone's doing something for you doesn't mean they have to keep doing it. So if someone's doing nice things for you and they say, hey, can you do this nice thing for me? You can refuse. Sure, that's of course your right to sort of say, hey, no, I'm not doing this right thing for you. But then you can't still expect them to do nice things for you. You might be upset that they don't. You might be like, oh, well, that sucks. But that is what reciprocity is. And that's the word I was struggling to remember. Thank you. Reciprocity. Reciprocity is expecting things to be fair, expecting things to be reciprocated. It is a fundamental part of our morality is reciprocity. And we've done studies on apes and things like that. Actually, I'll show you the ape video. How we so the two things that are fundamental to moral systems are empathy and reciprocity, and neither is more important than the other. Just as understanding how another person feels, having a sense of fairness for everybody is such a good idea. I don't know why that's there. Oh my god. Monkey, right? Cucumber experiment. Why is that there? Yeah, the ketchup and monkey. So what they do is they basically the monkey on the left is being given cucumber, which the ketchup and monkey doesn't mind. They're fine with cucumber. It's all good. They're fine with cucumber. The monkey on the right is being given grapes for the same work, right? So what they do is they put a rock through one of the holes. When the monkey fetches the rock and gives it back, they get a reward. The monkey on the left is being given cucumber, which they don't mind, and the monkey on the right is being grapes. Why am I not running in dark mode? Wait, there's a dark mode? Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Look, like I've already said, my my audio visual skills are absolutely terrible. Just why did that not work? Anyone tell me why that didn't work? There we go. So where was I? Thank you though, Beamsy. I do, thank you for telling me I'm not running in dark mode. I do appreciate it, mate. What was I saying? Yeah, so they do the work. Yeah, no, I am a noob. I'm a noob, Hillary's. I get you. I'm a noob. I totally agree. So when they return the rock, they'll get a treat. The monkey on the left gets cucumber, which they don't mind. They're fine with, but they love grapes. Love grapes. So watch what happens. So when he first gives him the cucumber and gives the rock back, gets the cucumber, he's fine. Yeah, all right, this is okay. Now, the other one does the same thing that the first one did, gets the rock, gives it back, gets a grape. And the other monkey sees that gets a grape, right? Sees, hey, that monkey got a grape and I only got a cucumber. Puts the rock in, gets the cucumber. Right? Why does the other monkey get a grape for doing the same work? But this is the experiment we have with reciprocity. If something nice is done, I deserve to have something nice back, right? So if there is another sort of monkey doing that, I deserve to have back. Hold on, let me refresh. And that is dark mode. I'm so sorry, I'm bad. Yeah, and that's reciprocity. That's what the other part of morality is. It's reciprocity. It should be, if I do something, that should be reciprocated. If somebody is doing the same thing as me, the reciprocation should be fair. It should be, everything should have a fairness to it, and that's sort of where our sense of fairness, and all of this is really important for social systems, like really important. And sort of, so people think that sort of comes from, no, part of it is cruel, absolutely, Beamsy, absolutely. And sort of some experiments they're just inherently cruel. In fact, there's one called the blank face experiment done on babies to show that if you give them no emotion, they get upset. If you just give a blank face, they get really upset when they smile and you don't smile back. They get very upset. So it's the shut off of emotional connection upsets them, and that's kind of really cruel as well, kind of thing. And it's only through this stuff that we understand what's going on in our species and in our societies. Yeah, so the daughter's got to learn about reciprocity, that you cannot expect things if you're unwilling to do them for others. That's how society works. It just is. And yeah, I again, it's really worrying. I'm agreeing with Reddit and stuff, but yeah, start a poll. And I do love that the father's like, hey, they have to work it out among themselves. They have to be mature. At some point, his kids are going to get older, and they've got to work these things out for themselves. I think that a lot of people sort of say, hey, let's solve these problems for them. And they don't get anywhere. I think maybe stepping in and sort of saying, hey, this is the advice that we kind of can give you, kind of thing, you know. But you know, I mean, yeah, the thing is that she's like, oh well, how dare the son hold their privilege over the sister, right? That's what they said. Hang on, I'll read it. My wife said I was an asshole and in encouraging our son to dangle the privileges of his age over his siblings' heads. What she hasn't considered is that a privilege of the daughter's age is she has a lot more free time, that she doesn't have to work, right? That's a privilege of her age. And so why is it the son dangling privilege over the daughter, and not sort of the daughter has the privilege of not having to work? Isn't that dangling it over the son? I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But, you know, just sort of saying, hey, there's only one person with privilege. Hold on a second. There's also the privilege of not having to work as well. Why is that not a privilege? It's a chance to show his kids conflict resolution. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like, sort of stepping in and saying, hey, this is how we resolve conflict. We talk and stuff. It might be a better thing to do. But again, I don't think that makes him an asshole for saying, hey, the kids need to sort it out between themselves and learn conflict. I don't think that makes him an asshole. I think he could possibly get a bit more involved, but you know, that's every parent has to decide which way they go on their kids. I don't think that makes them an asshole. What's the highest? Not the asshole. I like your approach. Your daughter needs a reality check. Yeah, right, right. She needs to learn a thing about. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Who are you? Majestic Goat Sparkles. Yes, Majestic Goat Sparkles. You've got a point. Share and share like. Okay, cool. He didn't give any actual ages, Beams. Yeah, I know you're guessing 16. Not sure, mate. Not sure. Oh, my daughter is 11. No, she's 11. He did give an age, 11. So yeah, I mean she's young. I don't think she's an asshole either. I think she's just 11. Yeah, the 11-year-olds aren't necessarily going to connect the two ends unless they're told. Their brains aren't there yet. No, totally. Totally. Kids work it out, then a little later go and explain it. Yeah. I think it's actually a good teaching opportunity. I think that it's not tit for tat mentality. No, it's not a quid pro quo, but there's something to the idea of reciprocal generosity. Standard recover, you got it. They've got it. Reciprocal generosity. You have to be a friend to have a friend. Okay. Yeah, I guess. I mean, as a sort of tagline, that's not bad, but yeah, kind of. Oh, you're talking about the sun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The sun doing it 13 to 16 as they have school. Yeah, probably a probably on the 16-year-old side. I'd probably say 15 to 16 possibly. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, she's not entitled to the food. I agree. Not entitled to the food. Yep. Yeah, yeah. And to sort of say the kid that's working and like doing school and working is the privileged one. I'm not sure where that comes from, to be honest with you. Oh, Edson, welcome. It's great to see you. First or maybe second time I catch you live. Work around these hours. Love these those. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Oh, no problem, mate. I just sort of chose this time as roughly Eastern time. I hope you enjoy. Do feel welcome. All good. Um, I'm having a good week. I hope you are too, Edson. I really do. But yeah, I'm of the opinion on this one that the daughter is going to develop a entitlement attitude, and I think the dad's doing the right thing, sort of saying, "Hey, you're not entitled to the things of other people, and if you're not reciprocally generous, you are you can you can sometimes not get those because reciprocity isn't there, and that's what life is like. When I help people, I don't expect a reward, but when I'm in trouble, um if I have a friend and they don't act like a friend and help me, I do sort of go, well, why should I be your friend and help you? My best friend is a guy. I help him out moving when he needs to move. He helps me if there's anything I need. It's a real friendship. Neither of us expect anything out of the other, but we know that that person is there for us. My best friend's name is Simon, and I know he would, if I needed help, he would do anything to help me, and he knows the same. If he needed help, I would be there for him, and that's the reciprocity. That's the trust in knowing that somebody is there for you. And if it's something that I don't need, but hey, I would like this, and he can't do it. That's cool. That's fine. There's no problem with that. You can't expect it. Um, but yeah, it's I don't have that many friends, but the ones I do, I do have a lot of trust in them, and sort of that. that reciprocity of generosity is there. But this is she'll get it. I don't think I think with the parents, I think that the mum is a little sort of you've got to share kind of thing. No, I think the dad's right, and I think the girl will be fine. I think she'll be fine. She's only 11. She will learn. If you want people to do kind things for you, you've got to do kind things for others. That's what it's all about. It's not the hokey pokey at all. That's what it's all about. The song's a lie. It's not the hokey pokey. It's reciprocity, helping others. Because if you want to live in a society where people help you, you have to help others. That's reciprocity. That is what it's all about. And the empathy. Oh, hello, Brett. Good to see you, mate. Interested in chatting? Well, I mean, my email address is there. I can. I mean, it depends on where you want to chat, Brett. Whether on Discord or sort of my email address I can give to you. That's not a problem, mate. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that'll wrap it up. That was the last one that I have done. My email, no, this isn't an open room. This is sort of I'm going to change the name because the reading room sort of makes it sound like an open room, and that's not what it is. So maybe it's my fault. I mean, I guess I can open up briefly if you do want to have a quick chat to me. That's not a problem. I guess if anyone else wants to come in, sure. I guess I can go a bit longer. Give me a sec. What's the time? Yeah, okay. All right. Give me 1 second and I'll just sort of get organized here, Brett. Just 1 second, mate. Did I do a poll for that? Did I do a poll? Did I do a poll? Yeah, okay. So poster has done nothing wrong. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, a lot of these ones, though, I don't think anybody's done anything wrong. I think just it's a failure to communicate, or people have sort of made a judgment based upon sort of moral instincts, and they just sort of their moral instincts haven't collided. Except for that girl who was saying your personality is your languages. She was just outrightly terrible. Like, seriously, that was the only one that I could say, hey, that person 100% is at fault, kind of thing. That was pretty terrible. But yeah, and that will do it for AIMBOT for this week. Am I morally bankrupt or them? And I've probably got to change the name of this series. So I was thinking, and do leave it in the comments if you want. Like, I was thinking either reading between the lines, which I was given by the lovely Bree, the Bumble Bree, who came up with a slew of them. She's amazing. Or read only. And I like read only because then it's like just me kind of thing. So I probably will change the name of this because people have said, hey, it sounds like you're doing an open room when it's not an open room. And I'm like, yeah, that's a fair point. Like I said, I'm stupid when it comes to audio communications and YouTube in general. Look, I'm a bumbling idiot through YouTube. I will happily admit that. It's not like her roommate was vegan. I'm not even sure. Like, even vegans have some other personality traits, mate. I mean, they're not necessarily, not necessarily. Mark my words. Wow, that's pretty good, Aussie. That's pretty good, mate. Yeah, no, I'm not putting that on the strain Assembly of God. I'm not rising to that level. But I mean, anyone can come in if you want. So if you want to come in and sort of talk, that's fine. You know that I run a respectful room. If people have any grievances with me or anybody else, they're willing to air it, but we will run a respectable room here. Thank you for joining me, Brett. I appreciate it. So what did you want to talk to me about, mate?
Well, I seen that you were live, and I didn't quite understand the title. I just got here, so would you be able to lay it out for me? What's going on?
Oh, So basically, I'm applying my morality where we're just going on to Reddit, and Reddit have a posting thing of, am I the asshole or them? Well, am I the asshole, basically? So I just called it, am I morally bankrupt or them, which is shortened to AIMBOT. Just going through and giving my opinion on these situations. So people are asking to be judged whether they are in the wrong or in the right, because some of these situations are confusing, and just giving, a sort of secular humanist approach, basically, which is my moral framework. And then getting a poll to see if people have other opinions, and chat gets to chime in on what they think. You know, just it's ordinary stuff. I mean, what was the last one? Um, um, a guy, am I wrong for telling my daughter her brother doesn't have to share with her? So a kid works in a restaurant, came home tired, usually brings food for all the children, basically shares it all the time. Asked his sister to do chores because he was tired from working, and the sister said no. So the brother said, well, that's fine, but I'm not going to give you any food. Who's in the right?
So it's my wife likes to look at something like that on Reddit. There's
Yeah.
like a blog where you can see, is this person an asshole type of concept? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Am I the asshole? Yeah, that's the stream. And I'll just add Beansy.
Well,
Welcome,
why would you
Beansy.
think that? Why would you think that you need to be on something like that? You don't seem like an asshole to me.
What do you mean?
Well, you said you're putting yourself up there about your morality or whatever, and I'm saying, why would you do that for if you don't consider
No,
yourself?
no. I'm applying the moral judgment. I'm saying whether I think it's immoral or moral. I'm not
Oh,
putting
you're reading the blogs, and then
right,
you're saying, these people.
right. Yeah. And getting other people's perspective on it as well. So, what do other people think? Do other people think the same thing? Do other people think differently? Why do they think that? What's their foundation in thinking that? So yeah, it's just more a let's get these random situations and just apply whether we think they're right or wrong, or good or bad, or what else they could have done in the situation maybe to be better. All of that stuff. I find it interesting. And I have a good time doing it. So yeah, why not? Why not?
Isn't it kind of difficult though? Because anytime anybody writes a story, they are always going to make themselves look like they're the hero.
Not necessarily, but yes. But we're evaluating as it's written, not the actual situation. So if the situation is different, then we obviously don't have access to that. All we can access is the story that we're given. But there's no reason why you can't make a moral judgment on that story that is given. And some of them are people that think they've absolutely done the right thing and haven't. So
That's fair
yeah.
enough. Well, you got an example of something that you thought was really challenging?
An example of something that I thought was really challenging, I think one a few weeks ago was really challenging. I don't have it offhand. I'd have to go back and find it, because it is a quite a breadthy thread on Reddit. It's got a lot of entries coming in. But yeah, just there are definitely some ones that no one's done anything wrong really, or everybody's absolutely sucks. Sure.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I mean, you're Judge Reed, so I feel like I'm in the judge's chamber right now.
And when it comes
No,
down to it,
it's fine.
when it comes
We
down to
only
it,
do, well, just a sec, Beansy. We only do consensual judging around here. So these people obviously want to be judged, right? They've put it up on this blog, on this Reddit forum. So we only consensually judge people around here. Go ahead, Beansy.
when it comes down to it, it's easy to make Mark into a butthead anyway. You just draw a line down the middle of his head.
Oh, thanks, Beansy.
Ooh, that's hateful.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I say we don't judge here, I was excluding Beansy. By the way, just be aware of that. No, I'm joking. It's all good. It's all good.
He knows it's
How
just
have
in
you
good
been,
humor.
mate? I know that you had a bit of health problems lately. How are you doing? Are you okay?
You asking Beamsy or myself?
Yourself, yeah. I know. I think last time I spoke to you, you were sort of, in your health may have been a bit, bad, but I hope you're okay. I just haven't talked to you in ages, Brett. That's all.
I've been doing some shows and all that and videos, but yeah, I get quite a bit of different issues. One problem is the back thing, but I'm trying to work it out.
Okay. So, did you just want to ask about my channel and what I'm doing over here, or did you have something else on your mind that you were coming in to talk about?
Well, usually when people open up a chat or whatever, it's they want to host it, ask questions, talk, and I like you, so I figured I'd hang out with you.
Yeah, well, you're always welcome. This is just, it's not more an open room. I want to do more open rooms. I want to have more conversations. But this one is just me doing, usually it's an hour and a half, 2 hours of just going through situations, not really an open room. And I did want to talk to you and sort of, because you said you want to speak to me, but usually I don't open an open room of this. And I do admit, I totally understand that the name is misleading, having room in it kind of thing, which I've got to change. I have to change that because it's not really an open room.
You got
Oh,
somebody called
Stephanie.
Stephanie wondering what the GoFundMe's all about. What
Yeah,
is that
so
about?
that was given to me by Richard Madsen. I don't know if you're familiar with him, and it's a 2-year-old child that's fighting neuroblastoma, which is brain cancer, and it's sort of a friend of the community, Jamie's daughter, who is sort of asking for a GoFundMe to help with her chemo, which is a good cause. And Richard asked me to help in any way I could, and this is something that I can do. So if you do have anything to spare, please do. You don't have to, of course, but it would mean a lot to all of us. So thank you in advance.
Well, Mark, if you or Mr. Madison, I am familiar with him. He's a good guy. If you guys
Madison,
want to
yeah.
if you guys want to put together a clip giving a summary of what's going on and all that, I'll be more than happy to mirror it on the channel. Make sure all the links are involved so people could be supportive and helpful if possible.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Well, that's the link for it. I'd have to talk to him. I don't know much of the details. I just sort of, he asked me to help, and I am, I gave my word I would. So I'm trying to, as much as I can. I mean, I've got no real reach, but I do what I can to help people. So there's that. But yeah, I really appreciate it, Brett. I'd love to get your email address. Mine is in the about me kind of thing of my YouTube channel. Yours is probably the same, actually. I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah, I
But
put my number and email, everything out there.
yeah, sure. Well, I'll grab it and I'll send it over to you. And yeah, we can keep in contact if you want. That's not a problem.
All right, let me I'll give it to you in private chat. It's actually pretty simple to remember. It's brettkeenphone@gmail.com, but I'll put it out for you anyway.
Yeah, sure. No problem at all.
There you go. I try to keep it simple. Some people make those extraordinary big time emails. I don't know why they do that. Keep it simple, folks.
Yeah, yeah. The email chains, I don't get into them at all. Usually, my email is used as a professional email, Brett. I don't send people pictures of stuff and stuff like that. It always drives me crazy when people do that. Just keep it professional and treat it as a business is my kind of motto. But no worries. I'll talk to Richard as soon as possible and send you over what they have. But thanks. And I do have to go to lunch soon. So do you have any final thoughts or anything else you wanted to discuss?
Just let Mark know from my experience in the past, if someone's needing help or they're needing help with a GoFundMe or something like that, it's best to be as extensive as possible about what the issue is, the problem. If he does that, not only will I mirror it, but I'll also email a ton of people and see if they can mirror it on their channels and see if we can kind of get a domino effect going, get some help.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, no problem at all. Like I said, he asked me to promote that, and I went sure. I'm really new to all of this. I know that you're a long-time veteran, Brett, but I'm very new to all of this, so I'm just stumbling my way through, mate. you know. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Beamsy, do you have anything to add before I close this up?
Nothing constructive.
Well, you know, anything unconstructive?
Well,
No,
all I
I'm
gotta
trying
say
to
is
keep it as
it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Mark. I'll step out.
Yeah,
Good talking to you, brother.
no problem, Brett. You take care, mate. All the best.
I was trying to keep it constructive, so I'm behaving for a bit.
Yeah. Okay, Beamsy. Well, you know, I love your work, and if you can't say something constructive, that's fine. Or unconstructive, inconstructive, destructive,
Deconstructive.
destructive. Yes, all right, fair enough. Okay, Beamsy. Well, take care, man, and I'm gonna end the stream now. But all the best, mate, and yeah, I'll definitely see you around. And I got to do more open rooms when I, you know, have people in and talk. Absolutely. But at the moment, I'm just sort of doing this. I find it fun. I hope everybody's enjoyed themselves. Do remember to be kind to yourself and each other. And that's sort of empathy, right? But also be kind to yourself. Have empathy for your own person.